It's Yoda!
Hey, we're back in Hyrule playing the
Alright, I don't remember anything that we were talking about or doing. Did we just finish?
Yes, we just finished Plateau, and now I have this thing.
Nice.
And,
gliding around.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go to, I think it's...
Yeah, this is where the stuff really starts.
Yeah.
And then, like, you talk to her, and then you go wherever you want. She's like, you should go here, and then you're just
and then
like,
I can just do whatever.
I don't know if I'm going to. I'll think about it.
I was gonna slide.
So.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about this a bit before, but we were both big fans of Sam Harris, and specifically his Waking Up podcast is good information, and a couple of his books and things.
Shit. Not good enough to fight that thing yet. I have no idea.
He doesn't like Sam Harris.
He does not.
What did you say? But, so recently, one thing that he was discussing was the current North Korea situation. And specifically his guest was Mark Bowden, the author of Black Hawk Down. I guess he, also was just a general reporter on a lot of these things for like 20 years in Philadelphia. And I guess it was prompted by an article that Mark had wrote for The Atlantic that essentially was like, here are what our main options are in dealing with North Korea, and none of them are good.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
And so they just like went through them, and like, regardless of what people think, I think, whatever you want to say about what people personally think we should do about them, I think it is true that if you spend a little while thinking about the possible scenarios, fine, you come up with one that's better than the others, but the end game isn't good.
Yeah,
objectively, right?
Yeah.
That's not our fault.
No,
in this situation,
yeah, dealing with an entity like that is not going to end well.
But yeah, there was a good discussion. I mean, essentially, the four ways of dealing with it was like all out, hard, decisive assault, trying to knock out as much as we possibly can, as quickly as we can, to try to avoid. Issue with that, obviously, is that to sort of mathematically guarantee that we don't have significant problems in South Korea, or, to avoid significant casualties, not only of South Koreans, our troops there, as well as North Korean citizens, it's impossible. I mean, the death, no matter what, you have, you're not going to be able to knock out enough quick enough that they're not going to take out a few 100,000 people. So, and that's minimum. So that, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Then the next one was like, they kept saying putting the screws to them. But it was really just a weird way of saying, like, escalating the situation by, like, by either, like, something.
Well,
there's no point. There's no point in continuing.
The shrine of the conversation?
Everything.
Yep, alright, that's it. We're over. That's it for the episode.
Wrap it up. But, God damn it.
Sorry.
No, I mean, okay, putting the screws to North Korea. The idea is, like, you escalate. You do something to them that would hurt them. Like, you put a strike and you take out, like, some of their artillery. You take out some of their facilities. You put a crazy embargo on shipping to that country. You know what I mean? Like, it's something more significant than what we've been doing. More than the sanctions, more than the, something that essentially would signal to them that, like, we're actually doing something. Rather than just being like, stop her. Don't do that. So that was that one. Then I think there was, he called it decapitation, essentially trying to assassinate Kim Jong-un and his, inner circle, essentially. Obviously, there's a lot of problems with that. One of the things that I thought that was interesting that was brought up is he said that for a lot of this stuff, it would be so like putting the screws to them like a cyber attack, right? Like people are like, oh, yeah, like take down their electrical grid. That could be, a really good way to hurt them. Yeah. And the good point brought up was like, yeah, like we have that capability, and certainly we could do that, or we could pursue that option. The issue is an attack like that to them might look no different than the all-out assault of option 1. I mean, because if you think about how an attack like that would begin, that would be a pretty natural first step.
That's true. So it might lead to
it might escalate the situation more than you're anticipating. Because even though you're like, okay, you're not killing anyone, you're still you might. So that's really was my big issue with these putting the screws to them types of options.
Yeah.
At least most of them. But anyways, and then the last one was like acceptance, was just like, listen, like they're very, they're a few years away from being able to hit us with nukes. Let's assume that reality. Yeah. Let's assume that there's no good way of stopping them from getting there. And let's sort of just deal with that. Deal with the fact that if North Korea ever makes the unfortunate decision to attack us, that they will be annihilated. And that... and that we would be justified in anything, so, but the issue is how much do we lose? I don't know. So
yeah, what are there's going to be
a lot of
losses,
right?
Regardless,
it's a lot to consider.
Yeah,
it's a lot to consider, and the conversation was obviously just dipping your toes into the things. But I thought it was cool that the guy that's talked to a lot of military personnel laid down our most considered options up to this point. I thought that was cool, and hearing about those. Sam Harris didn't contribute much, if I'm going to be honest, to the conversation. He sort of
really? Did he kind of just let the other guy take
he directed it and sort of, like, asked him questions and things, but, like, you know what I mean? He clearly wasn't trying to present anything he knows as expertise.
Yeah, it was more just informing.
Right, yeah. It was sort of trying to get out, and bring up things that he's thought about,
Yeah.
And then I think some stuff that another good question that Harris brought up was, okay, so out of those options, like, what is actually being considered? What are actually, and so basically the first option is not really being considered by our military in particular, at least anyone that he had talked to.
Yeah.
Even though you have apparently those people saying other people, are... they're...
yeah.
So, like, it's one of those things. But the second and third is definitely being considered, he said. This is... Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, God! Wow, that was cool for about 2 seconds.
Yep, I tried it.
What hit you on the back? Did the Octorok shoot you in midair?
I don't know.
We'll
I
think
he did. We'll watch the replay.
I think what happened is you hit the thing, took a bunch of damage, got flipped up in the air, the Octorok shot you, and then you fell in the water.
Yeah. Oh, that was... it's right here. Okay.
Okay.
That's not bad.
It was still very cool to watch.
I will not be doing that again. Anyway, so you said that... which options are being...
the second and third. The putting the screws to them, the sort of elevating the situation, like to show them that we're mean business, because something that a lot of countries, and specifically North Korea themselves, I guess the one thing that we do know is they don't take us seriously.
Yeah.
That would be one way of changing that.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is how can you ever know that you're not escalating it beyond what you want to? Are you accomplishing? Is it doing enough? Is the risk worth that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would it do anything to stop them? And two, if even if it did, is the risk of them, freaking out about it worth it as well? So that's the issue with that one, really. Ooh, nice, good job.
Close call again.
Ooh. So yeah. But for anyone out there who's interested in this stuff, Sam Harris Waking Up podcast, he does it on like YouTube. I think SoundCloud was the first one out. Not that it's that important. I mean, there's like 90 of them. Yeah, I think the SoundCloud one's like a few days earlier than the others.
Oh, okay.
But and then he'll post it some other places. I know YouTube comes out a bit later for whatever reason.
Yeah.
He'll upload to YouTube later.
Fuck those guys.
This is our cave. Get out. That was the look. Oh, they found.
My God, he's still
walked by our cave. You saw too much.
Yeah, Sam Harris, always interesting.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about him a lot.
Yeah.
We have a bit of a real curiosity with him, and he's got a PhD in neuroscience, is it right?
Yeah.
I believe it's neuroscience. Yeah. But he essentially is a big talker on philosophy now, on political science matters, and sort of bringing his background to those subjects. And it's good. It's really good stuff. It's probably, definitely liberal leaning, but probably one of the only people that would ever really, at least in those circles, really, really, really try to be as middle ground as possible, or at least be aware of the biases that they have and sort of work with them and that kind of stuff. So
he definitely points out the issues in every argument that he can. Super articulate. It's just I think it's a good point of view to attempt to understand.
Yeah. Well, this has been a big ad for advertising.
Yeah, for Sam. Yeah, you better pay us.
Oh. Man, the 2 to 0 views or listens he will get from this shout out.
Yeah, man. That's 2 new viewers he's got.
It's incredible. I've also been going back and watching the Neil deGrasse Tyson Cosmos on Netflix. So,
yeah, that was always really, really good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. Absolutely.
They did an amazing job of rebooting that.
I was sort of scared that it was going to have, well, timeline's all messed up for me because I haven't watched most of these things in a while. Yeah. Last time I watched a show like this, it was like Morgan's Freeman Through the Wormhole or something.
Oh,
a few years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever happened to that one. I think he did more than I saw, but I stopped watching it for whatever reason.
I don't think there were many.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed that. Anyways, what I liked about that show, and what I liked about Cosmos, is that they don't have a problem tackling or trying to explain the most difficult thing. Oh, new region.
My map!
Oh, it's all there. 62 degrees Fahrenheit.
I can see.
4:55 p.m. That's not that time.
That's not that time right
not
now.
even close. God damn it.
Ugh.
What kind of tablet is this?
Yeah, the Sheikah sensor.
But, yeah, they don't have a problem tackling the most complex sort of questions and sort of fringe, topics. While
also, like, simplifying them as much as they can.
Right, yeah, just doing whatever they can with it, right?
Yeah.
Like in the most recent one, he was talking about neutrinos.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
That's
I go to the Wikipedia page and I'm looking at neutrinos and I'm just like, what? Like, I'm just like, okay, so like they're just constantly around us. They sort of are. I don't know. I can't even really accurately describe them.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting subject.
They in particular are really tricky, but I guess they help explain some kind of phenomenon of energy behaving oddly at an atomic level. So
yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, and that one here was a good Sam Harris advertisement. And yeah. We got... good work.
Jesus Christ, this ending's a train wreck.
I know. Let's go. Let's just go on.
No, it's over. It's done.